This week on ATV News, Robert Mueller begins pressing charges in relation to Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, the House of Representatives passes a budget resolution, and American university students prepare for Halloween. I'm Alexis Arnold.
And I'm Max Cole.
ATV News starts now. Jeff Bezos has once again dethroned Bill Gates as world's richest person. Amazon stock rose 13.5% after the company turned in an earnings report of $250 million in just 3 months. The sudden stock surge made Bezos well over $10 billion, putting his net worth over $90 billion. However, being second in the wealth race is not a bad place to be. The 7% stock boost at Microsoft puts Bill Gates' net worth at a cool $88 billion. The last time Bezos passed Gates in net worth was following a temporary Amazon stock surge in July.
5 Michigan teens this week are facing second-degree murder charges after having dropped large stones from a bridge onto a local freeway. One of the stones dropped by these teens killed 32-year-old Kenneth White while he was driving home from work after he was hit in the head and chest with the rock, which broke through the windshield. He had a 5-year-old son and was set to be married. The teens, ranging from ages 15 to 17, are being charged as adults in this case and have pled not guilty to the charges placed before them. Their court hearing is set for November 2nd of this year. Now let's turn to Christopher Devine for our business report.
Thanks, Max. I'm Christopher Devine with your business report. The Global Business School Network is hosting its 12th annual conference on intersections of business education and economic development this week, from November 1st through November 3rd at the FHI 360 Conference Center. Conference participants will focus on how business schools work with academia, business, and NGOs to promote economic and social development throughout the world. To buy tickets or to learn more about the conference, visit www.gbsn.org. Tamid at American University is hosting the Startup Nation Tech Fair on November 7th at 5 p.m. The Startup Nation Tech Fair features various companies such as GradTrain, ProPrep, and Sports Guru. Visit Mary Graydon Center next Tuesday to learn about Israeli technology and network with innovators in the realm of technology. Visit Tamid at American University's Facebook page to learn more about the fair. Let's turn to Capitol Hill. The House of Representatives passed a budget resolution last Thursday with a vote of 216 to 212. This legislation paves the way for Congress to fast-track a tax bill. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan said, quote, "Tax reform will help reignite the American dream. It will help bring us back to a place of confidence, freedom, happiness, a stronger, healthier economy. And this budget that the House just passed brings us closer to making that dream a reality." For ATV News, I'm Christopher Devine.
Thanks, Christopher. You know, Alexis, this Congress is making a lot of promises lately, and I just don't see them pulling through.
I know, this happens every year, and they always say they're going to pass tax reform, but maybe they'll actually do it this time, although that definitely remains to be seen.
History proves us otherwise.
The Oklahoma City Thunder had a dangerous scare while flying to Chicago on Friday. After the team's charter plane landed, they discovered that the entire nose of the plane was dented inwards. Several players posted questions on social media wondering about what happened and expressing gratitude for their safety. Delta believes that the plane hitting a bird full speed was what caused the dent. However, a team official stated there was nothing out of the ordinary about the flight that would have led to the plane's nose being damaged. Despite the safety concern, the plane landed safely and no one was injured.
President Trump has issued the release of classified documents of the 1963 JFK assassination, an event which changed the history of this nation forever. Conspiracy theorists were excited to hear about this promised release of documents, but however were disappointed when only some and not all of the promised documents were released. The 2,800 documents released, while containing interesting tidbits of extra information, paled in comparison to the apparent 300 or so documents that intelligence agencies asked President Trump to withhold releasing. These files should be released after another classified 6-month review process. Let's turn to Julia Wenning-Zimmer for our entertainment report.
Thanks, Max. I'm Julia Wenning-Zimmer with your entertainment report. If you enjoy horror movies, then you're in luck. American University is hosting screenings of 2 different horror movies this week in celebration of Halloween. One of the movies is playing at the Woods Brown Amphitheater on Sunday, October 29th at 9 p.m., and the other one is playing at the Perch on Tuesday, October 31st at 9 p.m. Grab some friends and some popcorn and take advantage of these free screenings. Do you feel like you're missing out on the Pitch Perfect experience in college? Well, you can experience AU's version of a Barden Bella's performance. Come see AU's a cappella groups perform their Halloween concert at the Woods Brown Amphitheater this Monday. The concert features performances by Pitches Be Trippin', Trouble in Paradise, and On a Sensual Note. You're encouraged to wear costumes. Attention hipsters, the Shens are performing at the Anthem this Thursday at 8 p.m. Grab your beanie and your flannel and buy a ticket to see the Shens at the Anthem before tickets sell out. For ATV News, I'm Julia Wanning-Zimmer.
Thanks, Julia.
Wow, those movies sound great. Personally, my favorite Halloween movie is Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm a huge Rocky Horror fan. I go like every year when I was home. So hopefully, I can find some showings around DC. Have you ever been?
I've never been, and I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I hear it's great.
It's so much fun. I think they have a couple showings at the Landmark Theater, and sometimes they have actors come and do little stuff in between. It's just such a fun experience and a great way to spend.
Be sure to stop on by.
Let's turn to Penny Kmitt for our sports report.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm Penny Kmitt with your sports report. The American University field hockey team celebrated Senior Day on Saturday, October 21st, with a 3-1 win over Lafayette. Sophomore Jet Dykeman landed her first career goal by scoring a point late in the first half of the game. Senior Ann Waverly Spencer then scored another goal for the Eagles midway through the second half of the game, and junior Rafaela Rubish clinched the win by scoring off a penalty stroke. The AU field hockey team holds an overall record of 12-5, 5-1 in the Patriot League. The American University women's soccer team also played Lafayette this week, but unfortunately they lost 3-1. The Eagles trailed after the Leopards scored 29 seconds into the game and then scored 2 more goals. Despite the loss, AU freshman Asia Horn scored her first collegiate goal 25 yards from the net. Let's turn to some national sports news. Despite making the playoffs as a wild card team, the Yankees were still not satisfied with the management of the team. New York Yankees manager Joe Girardi is out after 10 seasons with the team. Yankees general manager Brian Cashman recommended to the Yankees owner Hal Steinbrenner that the team change managers. Since taking over in 2008, Girardi has led the Bronx Bombers to the best record in baseball over the past decade, as well as postseason appearances and a championship title. For ATV News, I'm Penny Kmitt.
Thanks, Penny.
You know, Alexis, it sounds like women's field hockey's having a good season.
I know, and girls volleyball had a great season as well. AU seems to be doing pretty good so far, so I really wish the best for them as they continue with both of their seasons.
I hope we can make it to the championships this year.
Congratulations are in order to Cardi B and Offset on their recent engagement. The Migos group member proposed to Cardi B on stage at Power 96's Powerhouse concert in Philadelphia on Friday night. The love and hip-hop starlet could not contain her emotion after her husband-to-be dropped to one knee and popped the question. She shook her head and hands in disbelief as fans screamed wildly with excitement and support. After the show, the blushing Bodak bride took to Instagram to express her happiness and gratitude, as well as to show off the enormous 8-carat ring. She can't wait to spend forever with him and ended the post by saying she wants to make, quote, lots of shmoney and love together.
In the wake of the #MeToo campaign, in which women across institutions tell their stories of experiencing sexual assault from their superiors, Hollywood actress Heather Lynn has recently accused former President George H.W. Bush of sexual assault at a television premiere 3 years ago. The actress claimed in an Instagram post that President Bush touched her from behind and in his wheelchair proceeded to tell her a dirty joke, all within the view of the press, producers, and even his wife, Barbara Bush. Bush's PR team issued a statement reading that the President Bush would never under any circumstance intentionally cause distress and sincerely apologizes if his attempt at humor offended Miss Lind. More information is to be released on the incident. Now let's turn to Veronica Robertson for our science report.
Thanks, Max. I'm Veronica Robertson with your science report. Researchers who study Alzheimer's know that a buildup of tangles in the protein tau and plaques of beta amyloids is the precursor to the disease. However, not everyone who has this buildup is destined for Alzheimer's. This week, researchers from the University of Alabama at Birmingham uncovered the reasoning behind this phenomenon. Apparently, a doorknob-shaped part of the neurons within plaques called dendritic spines can protect against Alzheimer's. Professor Herskowitz from the UAB believes that a healthy diet and healthy lifestyle can lead to the development of these healthier dendrites. Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos' rocket company made major strides towards space tourism in the past few weeks, as its BE-4 engine successfully passed a hot fire test by firing the engine at half of its power for 3 seconds. The successful test has bolstered hopes that the BE-4 will be ready for its maiden voyage of space tourism in suborbital space by April 2019, as Blue Origin has previously promised. Bezos is definitely giving Elon Musk and his SpaceX program a run for their money. Harvard scientists have discovered a new technique that could allow doctors to alter people's DNA and change the molecular machines that bring about genetic diseases. The base editor, as they are calling it, is a molecular machine that can convert one aspect of DNA into another. This technique would enable doctors to remove mutations that cause disorders from general blindness to cystic fibrosis. According to the scientists who discovered this technique, it could also be used to write in useful mutations. We are certainly at a turning point for the human race. For ATV News, I'm Veronica Robertson.
Thanks, Veronica.
Wow, altering DNA, that sounds super X-Men and very sci-fi, and I'm all about that.
Absolutely. But it does beg the question of whether it's morally or ethically sound. I mean, people might want to change things about themselves, like, have better health and a better quality of life, but when do we draw the line? When do we draw, like, if I want a certain type of skin or a certain type of eyes, like, is that okay? Is that acceptable? I think that's what the conversation we have to ask ourselves.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot to consider on this, but hopefully it can be a force for good.
Absolutely.
NASA may have recorded the first visitor from another solar system. NASA is unsure of exactly what it is, but they can confirm it is not behaving like local asteroids and comets. If it is confirmed to be from outside our solar system, it would be the first interstellar object observed and confirmed by astronomers. Manager of NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, Paul Chodas, said, quote, "We have been waiting for this day for decades. All of the information so far indicates that it is an interstellar object, but Chodas says that more data would help confirm it. Although it is not quite aliens, this discovery has astronomers from around the world scrambling to track down and record data on this mysterious object."
Robert Mueller's special counsel on investigating Russian collusion in the 2016 election just had its first charges approved by a federal grand jury on Friday. The charges remain unknown to the public because they are sealed under the court order of a federal judge. The original plan of the announcement of the accepted charges were to take anyone charged into custody, but because the charges are sealed, it is unknown who is supposed to be brought into custody exactly. As the special counselor goes further into investigation, more and more information is being brought to public light. Only time will tell as to what the result of their investigations will be.
Let's turn to Anna Perez for our World News Report.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm Anna Perez with your World News Report. The Catalan crisis continues, with Spain still refusing to grant the region independence. Spain's Senate plans to take back control after this month's referendum and is set on removing Catalan President Carles Puigdemont. Puigdemont was responsible for declaring independence after the referendum on October 1st, but did not call for the same measures at the parliamentary debate in Barcelona this past Thursday. Some even expected Puigdemont to call for regional elections to grant power to local governments, but instead he stated, quote, "I have been prepared to call elections as long as guarantees are given," end quote. Parliament plans to resume later this week. Twitter is banning Russian media outlets from buying out advertising space. Outlets Russia Today and Sputnik are suspected to be platforms for Kremlin messaging, according to U.S. authorities. Twitter also will be donating $1.9 million to research on its role in civic engagement and elections. In Australia, rules over serving in office as dual citizens are being called into question. Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce and several other officials could be ruled ineligible since the High Court of Australia discovered they held dual citizenships. This has been a concern for Australia's government since July, which has caused many prime ministers to clarify their citizenship status. Joyce has already renounced his second citizenship in New Zealand, but the court has yet to reach a verdict on the issue. For ATV News, I'm Anna Perez.
Thanks, Anna.
You know, Alexis, actually, as of this recording, it has come to my knowledge that Catalonia has actually declared its independence officially from Spain.
That's awesome. I know they've been fighting for a really long time to try to be independent.
Yep, and it's up to really personal opinion as to whether it'll be successful, but only really time will tell if they get what they want.
I know, they're going to have to fight with Spain for a little bit to try to get what they want, but I hope it, works out for everyone in the end.
Of course.
Okay. Let's turn to Liz Holmes for our weather report.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm Liz Holmes with your weather report. Fall is finally in the air. This week, you can look forward to breaking out your boots and sweaters. On Monday, the high temperature is 59 degrees and the low is 43 degrees. Expect partly cloudy skies. On Tuesday, the high temperature is 60 degrees and the low is 39 degrees. For those of you who are planning on trick-or-treating, expect partly cloudy skies and light winds. On Wednesday, the high temperature is 63 degrees and the low is 51 degrees. Expect mostly cloudy skies with a chance of rain in the evening. For ATV News, I'm Liz Holmes.
Thanks, Liz.
Alexis, I said it once, I said it again, I said it 5,000 times. I am not looking forward to this cold weather. I'm just not a fan.
Really, I love the cold. I think it is. I love going skiing and the leaves changing. I'm so excited.
Although I do know that it is supposed to be nice for Halloween, right? So
Good.
you should be able to go out, go trick-or-treating on FSC Row. Wherever you are, just have a good time, be safe, and everything should be good.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us this week. For ATV News, I'm Alexis Arnold.
And I'm Max Aboko Cole. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. See you next week.